jobs. So job is again what job you are performing in an organization. It can be an employee job a normal employee is doing, or if you are working as a benefit administrator who takes care of all the benefit enrollments and everything, then you are a benefit administrator. If you are actually responsible to take care of all the payroll related activity, so you can be a payroll manager or you can be a payroll administrator. So what job actually you are doing in an organization is actually the job. So it is like a set of roles and duties which you are actually performing in an organization. So the job can be either your payroll administrator, the job can be like a benefit administrator, or job can be HR person. So it can be like HR manager or HR specialist, or it can be like a normal employee. So in order to create a new job, you have to go to a task manage job. So we'll go to our implementation project and you can click job there, manage job, or you can directly search the task from FSM. So click manage job. Click on this task manage jobs. Now click on create. So again, job is a set enabled object. So it will have a common set. You can give any name like tr job 001. So you will enter the name and a code in this and we click next. So there are other details which you enter in this place. So it can be whether a job is a full-time or a part-time, whether a job is a regular or a temporary. So each of a job can fall under a certain family. So all the admin related job will come under administration. So you can actually create as many as job families depending upon your requirement. So let us see what are the job families created in system. So I'm just making it is not blank and let's see. So these are the job families created. So suppose that if you're creating all the admin related jobs, so you can use the job family as administration. If you are actually creating all the technology related jobs, so you will actually use this technology as a option. If you are creating any job like a management, so you can use the management as a job family. So job family is nothing but it is like a grouping of jobs together and it can be used for your reporting purpose. Then similarly you can create job functions. So whether it is like administrative job, it is like a managerial job, or it is like a legal job. So these job functions and job family are mainly for your reporting. So level is something which we will use in our approval. So we can skip at this point. So in management level, if you want, what is a job character, whether it is the director job, whether it is a first line manager job, it is a mid line manager. So all these details which you are entering in this place are actually just for your reporting purpose. Whether in this job a medical checkup is required or not, whether this is a benchmark job. So whenever some third party do a survey, so there they can use this job as a benchmark job and they can actually compare other jobs with this job. In case it is not a benchmark job, you can select another job which was a benchmark. Then all these things you can enter. You can also create a grade ladder. Suppose that you have created multiple grades. So you can also create a ladder. So it is like grade 1, then grade 2, then grade 3. You can also create a grade ladder with all the grades with steps. So in that case, you will create an entire ladder for the entire organization. So a person comes as a fresher will start at a grade A1, then the grade person will move to A2, then the person will move to A3, then A4, then A5. So you can entirely create a grade till A1 to till A5. So you can also attach all these information in this place. We'll keep it blank. And these legislative information is something which somebody else has created. So these are flex field. We'll leave it. So many organizations actually use some third-party vendors to actually evaluate their jobs which they have created. So in that case, suppose that they are using some system, so you can enter those detail here, or you can leave it blank also. So this is just for tracking purpose that you are entering the evaluation system which your organization is using. Now each of the job will have a profile. So in that case, profile is something which we use in our profile management. So whenever you are actually doing hiring a person, so you are actually giving them certain criteria that the person should be an MBA, the person should be an engineer, the person should be fluent in English. So all those things can be created as a job profile, and you can attach the job profile in this place. So you can actually see what are the job profiles already created in system. So let's see any job profile which is there. So let's see TA job profile. So you can see that there is no requirement here. So the job profile is something which is a performance related module. So you can see that these are the job profiles which are created. So let's try to see. So again, this is not having any detail. So it is like your requirements will come. Like a person should be an MBA, the person should be good in English. So all these things will come under requirement section. So meanwhile, we can leave this field as a blank, and you will click next, and you can click submit. So what we have done is that we have created a job with a minimum required information. Depending upon your requirement, you can create jobs with a other level of information, like whether the job is a benchmark job, whether a job is a regular or a part-time, whether a job is what should be the job family, and all those are the details. And you can also enter the detail like what can be the evaluation system, and see what are the details which you are entering, like a evaluation system, whether a medical checkup is required or not, whether it is what should be the management level of this job. So all these are just for a reporting or a tracking. And you can also attach a job profile. So in case you are actually implementing a performance module, so or a talent module. So in talent we have two types of profile. One is a person profile and one is a job profile. So in case any job profile is created, you can also attach that job profile while creating a job. But these are optional.
Whenever I'm trying to create something and I'm just facing some problem, just keep on throwing some.
Sure.
Am I supposed to use the grade ladder, that option?
No, no, no. Just scroll down to the bottom. On the same page, scroll down to the bottom.
Job extra information, okay.
Yeah. There you can
Okay.
click on add row, and you
Okay,
can
okay.
add a grade which you want to appear for this job.
Okay, so what's the use of this grade ladder? Is it something different?
See, we created grade rate. Now, suppose that you want to create a ladder. Ladder is like again a series of grades. So grade A1 will come, then grade A2 will come, then grade A3 will come, then A4, A5. So if you want to create the entire ladder from the initial grade to the topmost grade, so in that case you can create a grade ladder also. So for that, the task is manage grade ladder. And once you create a grade ladder, it will ask you that which are the grade you want to include. So you can include A1, you can include A2, you can include A3. So it will create a ladder like a structure. So the only thing which you need to take into account while creating a grade ladder is that all the grade without steps can be created together, and all the grade with steps can be created together. So there cannot be a mixture of grade without steps and grade with steps. Either you can create a ladder with all the grades without a step, or you can create a ladder with all the grades with a step. While creating a grade, we have an option that whether we create a grade with a steps or grade without a step. Okay. Now, when you create a grade ladder, you can actually include all the grades, either with a step or all the grade without a step. A mixture cannot be possible. So you cannot create a grade ladder with a grade with some grades which have steps in them and with some grades which don't have any steps within them. So either you create a ladder of a grade which doesn't have any steps, or either you create a ladder of all the grades which have steps in them. So it can be either one of them, either grade with steps or either grade without a step.
That's the one we created, right?
Yeah.
So now
Click next.
I'll go next. See what I did. Yeah,
Don't
the
need to do
evaluation.
anything.
Oh, okay. So you shouldn't create any custom or anything like that?
No, nothing.
Okay.
It is
See,
just
I selected the custom, probably, that's where I got the error. So why we shouldn't create anything here, evaluation?
because the evaluation criteria, many of the company actually use some third party. To evaluate their jobs on a periodic basis. So either they do on a haze method or they use their own custom criteria. So it is just for your tracking purpose. It doesn't fulfill any uh, transactional value. So it is just like
Okay.
what you are using in organization, you are capturing or taking a record there. And as custom, we have not created any evaluation criteria custom, hence it is giving you an error.
Okay. Gotcha. So I
Click
just
next.
save.
Similarly, you have to create the other one also.
See, the same jobs can be used across, right? I mean, like for US as well as for India.
Yeah, because we are using a common set. And that is the
Common set.
reason I asked that whenever you are creating a grade, job and position, so don't use US as a naming convention, just use 001, 002.
Oh, okay. Then, okay. Gotcha. So I should have just said J002 or something.
And
Right?
just keep a track of what you are creating so that you will use
Yeah.
same grade, job where in the transaction. So meanwhile, guys, Lakshmi is creating any problem or any clarifications on manage job tasks, click on remove. So we have one grade which we have created with, we have one job created with get, so we will create this job without grade. So you can just click remove.
So without going through these steps, you cannot submit.
For some transaction it allows, but for some transaction it will ask you to review the detail which you have entered.
See, okay.
Click here.
So, okay, one question I wanted, you said like you create with the job details and not one with the no job. Can we not attach the same job? I mean the grade, sorry. The grades to the
You
same
can
job.
So that grade has been attached to a job, so you will not be able to search the same grade with other job.
Okay, here is a question. I have job 001, job 002. Okay, there are two different jobs, right? But can I have the grade, same grade structure attached to two different jobs?
You can try. I need to test that. I have not tried that, whether I can attach a same grade in a multiple job. I haven't tried that scenario, so myself need to check. Like
Can we try that? Can I try that now?
Just try to edit the job, second job, and try adding the same grade.
Go back to the job, you mean? Manage jobs and try that? Or create a new one?
The job which you have created, try to edit in a correct mode and see whether you can attach the same grade or not.
Okay, so I just cancel this one. Search job, right?
Yeah, clear all the search results like name code and just enter the name which you have created.
मैं बोल के गया तुम्हारे आओ जी बोले थे पर जोड़ा
Why I'm not able to see?
It was J002. Click OK. Change the date. Click on effective date. Make it today's date.
I actually like effective date which is created on 010101, right?
Let's see. Select give the today's date as an effective date. Let's see what date you have entered.
Today is what, like 12?
1/12/19. So your job is not coming. Just give J. Just remove 002 from there.
Okay.
So you have entered 99. And try to add the grade which you have attached to the previous job.
Systems. See, no result form.
It is not, so as you have already attached it to the some other job, it is not allowing you to attach to the other job.
Means you cannot attach same grades to the job.
Same grade to the multiple jobs. Yeah. Okay.
But that does
Give me
not
the
sound
picture.
reasonable, right? I mean, you should have a grade has to be above job, and within a grade there has to be multiple jobs, right? I mean, does it sound reasonable to you?
So see, jobs are attached to grades. Within a job, multiple grades will be there. So job and position will always be on a higher side than grade. Is that
So does
fine?
that
So
mean
we'll
that
bring that.
every
Yeah.
job you create multiple grades?
No, see, right created grade while associating it to the job. It is
Right.
not an optional thing for associate. You can leave it blank also. So if you leave it blank, then the grade field is dependent on user to enter the value.
So if in a company there are like 10 different kinds of jobs and every job has got 3 different grades associated with it, so you end up creating 30 grades for 10 jobs. Is that how it works?
So you have 10 jobs. And how
A,
many
com-
grades?
a company has 10 different jobs and each job has like you have to go through 3 different grades, like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 for each job. So you end
And
up
all the
creating,
grades are unique? All
yeah,
grades are unique?
yeah.
Yeah, so in that case you have to create 30 grades. Because all the grades are unique. So you have to create.
The thing is, it has to be unique because it's not letting you use another grade in the same thing, right? I mean, that's what we tried now. So it has.
Yeah, in that, so suppose that there is a requirement and it is a requirement that maybe the grade can be used in a multiple job. So don't associate with the jobs then. Don't create a link between the grade and jobs in that case. You are getting my point. So right now you are actually creating a link between grade and jobs. So suppose that you have a requirement that the same grade can be used on a multiple jobs. Then in that case don't create a link.
But if you don't create link, then how would we know which grade is at which job?
So right now you are saying that each grade is attached to a job in your organization. So that means grade is unique. Okay? So if
Right.
grade is unique, then what is the problem in creating 30 grades then? Because it is a unique thing you are creating in the system. If it is not unique, so in that case you are not creating a link.
Hmm.
If something is unique in your organization, you have
Then
to
you
create
have
it.
to
It
have
has
that
to be
many.
unique.
Right. Then you
Yeah.
have to have that many.
Or does it have something to do with the grade step? It is, like since it is unique again.
Nothing. So there are two cases which you're trying to convey. One case is that can we reuse the grade in a simpler term? And second
Correct.
case is that can we create a unique one? So it totally depends upon your requirement. So you have to analyze the client requirement first. Whether, see, job and position will be on a higher side. Grade belongs to job or a position. There is a 1:n mapping. So there is one job can have multiple grades. Okay, so the hierarchy goes like job or position, then grade. Now, if the client is saying that for each job we have different grades and grades are unique, we don't repeat the grade with other jobs. So for example, software engineer has a grade 1, 2, 3. So that 1, 2, 3 will be only be unique to software engineer. If there is some other job like HR director, so the HR director will have a grade 4 and 5. So it is very much unique to HR director. So if this is a requirement, then you can go ahead and create a link between the jobs and grade. But suppose that the person is saying that we don't want to create a link. We want to use the grade. So software engineer can also have a grade 1 and testing engineer can also have a grade 1. So in that case, we will not create a link. So in that case, you will be able to reuse the grade while entering the detail of a person. It will be like a text field.
Create a separate grade basically.
So in that case, you will not link it. So by creating a link, by attaching a link, you are actually creating a relationship between a job and a. If you don't create a relationship, those are two different entities, free flowing.
We'll create two jobs like software engineer and the QA engineer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We will create like a grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, or 2 grades for example. Okay. Grade 1 and grade 2. And we'll link that to, like, okay, software engineer has got grade 1, grade 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the same grade 1, grade 2 can also be used for QA engineer, grade 1, grade 2, some example like that.
No, you tried creating in this job and system was not allowing you. So it is
Correct.
pretty much clear that we cannot reuse the thing. If you have to reuse, then you don't need to create any link. Or if you are creating a link, then it will not allow you to reuse.
So you mean to
you created a link between system analyst and job 1. That is the reason you are not able to reuse the system analyst again.
So
If
you,
you want to
you
use system analyst, don't create a link with any job.
all right. I will save this and submit. So we upgraded it. What is it? Remove.
Click
Okay.
remove. Yeah. So we'll move to the another topic, that is position. So positions are instance of job. Suppose that you are doing a job like benefit administrator. So it is an instance or it is a version of a job when it get attached to a business unit and a department. So when you create a job which is very much specific to a business unit or to a department, then you go and opt for a position. So as we have discussed that when which type of industry go with a job, which type of industry go with a job and position both. So we have discussed all that in our day 1 or day 2 session. So in order to create a position, you have to go to a task that is manage positions. We'll click on this manage position task and you will see that it will ask you what is the job, what is the business unit and what is the department. So it will create a link. So see, first of all it is asking what is the business unit. So we'll use our business unit which we have created. So for me I think it was TRBU US. Edition 001. You can use any name, any code. Now you see that system has asked us what is a business unit in which you want to create a position. So there is a link between a business unit and a position. Now system is also asking what is the job and what is the department. So you can see that position is very tightly connected to the job, department and business unit. So again we'll use our department. For me it is US, so I will use the TR department US. And we'll use the job which we have created in a previous session. Okay, so you can see that position is the instance of job or a version of job in, and you attach and you are actually creating a relationship with a department and a business unit. Now there are other details which you can enter, like whether it is a full-time, part-time position, whether it is a regular positions or a temporary position, and then you can enter a manager of that position. You can enter the hiring status, whether the position has been approved by management or whether the position is frozen or whether the position is just in a proposal. So it is like you can select the exact or required value. So if you have created a position, it is still in a proposal state, then you can go and select proposed. If it has been approved by management, then you can actually go and select approved. If the requirement of position is frozen, then you can select frozen again. Whatever details you are entering here is just for a tracking purpose. Then what is the type of position you are creating? It is single incumbent or it is pooled or it is shared. So single incumbent means 1:1, one position, one person. Shared means one person can work in a multiple positions. So maybe if you hire a person in this position, the same person can work in a different position also. And pooled means single position, multiple person. So suppose that you have a requirement to hire 5 or 10 people, so in that case you will use a pool option. FT is your full-time equivalent. So in FT what you use is like your standard working hour is 40 and your FT is 41. So in that case the employee which will be hired on this position will have to work for 40 hours. So it is like a ratio of number of hours which a person has to work and number of the standard working hour which is in which is set at either at an enterprise level or a legal employer level. Then you have all these details like headcount, probation period, all these details which you want you can enter. You can associate a grade at a position also. But still it is an optional. If you want, you can go ahead and attach a grade at a position. In case you don't want to attach, you can leave it blank. Positions can also have a different evaluation criteria, and it is only for your recording purpose. Again, a position can also have a profile attached to it. So we can leave it blank. Click next, enter the detail which you have entered, and click submit. Okay. Now we'll create another position, maybe for another business unit. So we use another department. Make it as a pool, and we can change the headcount to 10. And again, I will create this positions without grade. In case you guys want to associate a grade with a position, you can go ahead and do that. And the concept of association between the grade and position is same as it was for grade in job.
So for a person to get hired in an organization, out of all these things, which ones are mandatory or everything is mandatory?
We will see that. Legal employee is mandatory, business unit is mandatory, and other you can leave it blank. But we'll see, because after this we'll try to hire a person in an organization, and you will come to know that which is mandatory, which is not mandatory.
So when an organization hires a contractor, what actually happens? They just create a position for him because he may not be there for long term, or like how there are different ways of handling it, or it's just handled a specific way.
There's a different way. So for employee, we use an option, hire an employee. So that person will have a type, that is the employee type, and worker type will be employee, and the contractor will have a contractor worker type. Though the position can be reused. So in that case, you can capture some information like it is a temporary, or it is like a part-time. But on a position level, you cannot capture a lot of information like whether you are going to use this position for a contractor or whether you are going to use this position for a employee.
Can you just repeat the single, incumbent and pooled once again?
Okay, so suppose that you are creating a position and you have only one requirement. So you need only one person on that position. So number of hiring is 1. So you will go with a single incumbent and the headcount will be 1. Okay. Now if you have a requirement that you create a position like a retail manager and you want 10 persons to be hired on that position. So one position person and the headcount will become 10.
How does the FTE affect in that?
Okay, so FTE, full-time equivalent, it is a ratio of the number of hours which a person will work divided by number of standard working hours. Okay, so you remember our standard working hours was 40 hours weekly, and we want our person who gets hired on this position to work 40 hours per week. So in that case, the FTE will be 1. 40 divided by 40. If the position requires a person to work only for 36 hours, the working hour of organization is 40 and the FT becomes 0.8. 36 divided by 40.
No, in the event if it's a share, like FT, will it be split or will it be one?
FT will be split, yeah. So it will be like it is shared between two positions. So maybe it can be 0.5 in this position, 0.5 in other position.
Okay. I just want. So, suppose if it is a pooled, should I make the head count like 10 or will it be just 1?
In pool, just make it 10. In one also it will allow you to save. It will not show you in any error. But make it 10. Or maybe 5, 6.
If it's a pooled category, right? Otherwise, it is 1 is by default. Okay.
Yes. Guys, please go ahead and create a position. So you can create two positions, position 001 and position 002. In case you want to attach your grade, you can go ahead and attach your grade. In case you want to limit that, you can limit it.
A quick question, like I want to make a little changes to the position I created name.
Okay, so just search the position and click edit and try to do edit in a correct mode. So once you are done with editing, click on view, submit.